Well, I've been studying him since college. I graduated from UCLA with a degree in English and a specialization in Shakespeare. And right before I graduated, I had the good fortune to be cast at the San Diego Shakespeare Festival, where I met a lot of actors who instilled in me what a great playwright this is. I have studied him since 1972. I'm reading him today. Um, and he has been an inspiration to my work, to my life, to almost everything that I do. My favorite is the one that I first did, and I've had the good opportunity to do twice since, and that's Claudius from Hamlet. Why? Because one can think of Claudius as a villain, but the great thing about Shakespeare is that all of his characters have a reason for doing what they do. He instills them with a humanity that doesn't make them stereotypes, that makes them real human beings. The challenge of playing Claudius, in perhaps Shakespeare's most famous play, is that you need to make him a real person, that you need to understand where he's coming from. And so I believe that happens with Claudius in the prayer scene, and we find out what his true nature is, what his true thoughts are, and trying to make him human and still fulfill the needs of the play is, to me, a fascinating challenge. They're all my children. I don't really have a favorite, although certainly I would have to say As You Like It. The character of Rosalind to me is just incredibly fascinating. I have directed Twelfth Night twice. I'm in the process of writing a novel about Twelfth Night, so I think about Twelfth Night a great deal, but I don't think it's as good a play as You Like It. I would venture to say that almost all literature, all film, has an inspiration from Shakespeare. It is the original source of our psychological literature today. Shakespeare was the first psychological writer. Everything before that were stereotypes. Everything before that were ideals. People presented personas of things that people believed in. Shakespeare was the first writer to give us psychological insights into these characters that he created. So I imagine the idea of creating full-fledged characters that have needs, intentions, desires, complex attitudes towards life. All of that comes from Shakespeare. So I imagine everything comes from Shakespeare. It's not important to teach it if you teach it badly. And most of the time it's taught badly. There is no point to teach something that people are afraid of. There's no point to teach something that people don't understand. There's no point to teach something if it's an onus. Oh my God, I've got to take this Shakespeare. I don't understand it. It's in Middle English, and most of the time that's how it's taught. There's no reason in the world to teach it that way. And if you do teach it that way, there's no reason to take it. So if you can find teachers, directors, who will do it with understanding, with passion, with love, then it's very important for the very reason I just mentioned, which is that it is the beginning source of not only literature, but the way we live our lives. But to teach it badly, there's no reason for that. Yes, because one of the great things about Shakespeare is his use of language, his use of wit, his use of psychology. And that should be an inspiration to all of us. We all aspire to make our lives better. We all aspire to be better than we are. We all aspire to leave a mark on this world. We can say, you know, it's a better place because we were here. We do that a lot of the times through our actions, certainly, but also what we say. And language is the way we communicate to other people. It's the only way we really communicate to other people. And Shakespeare is the master of language. It teaches us to use language both as a means of communication, but also as an art form. And if you can communicate artfully, you can make people remember. And if they remember, then you have influenced their lives. So the teaching of Shakespeare, when it is done correctly, is the teaching of psychology, communication, and humanity. It is every writer's, every artist's requirement to teach humanity about humanity. And no one does that better than Shakespeare. He created so many characters that tell us something about the human condition, and always from different points of view. And we need to study that to learn more about ourselves. I think I would still be looking for something to inspire me. I think I would still be looking, whether it's a playwright or a novelist or a painter or another human being, that would inspire me to do better than I can. He inspires me now, and not just him, but the entire world that he lived in. The process of writing called rhetoric that he was a part of, that he was a master of. I think that's what I would be doing. I've had the good fortune to do many things. I've worn many hats besides being a teacher and an actor. And any one of those things could have been the primary thing in my life. It just turned out Shakespeare was. Well, he was part of an incredible world that was very much aspiring to improve the world, to improve themselves, to connect to the Godhead. There is no other playwright, Elizabethan playwright, comparable to him. There are wonderful playwrights: Johnson, Chapman, Dekker, Middleton. He's a phenomenon. He did better than all of those guys because he recognized humanity and he had a great memory for nature. He taught us about ourselves and how we fit into the cosmic realm of things and how we fit into nature. And I wish more teachers, more directors would teach people that affinity. Teach them to love him for his insights, not to love him because of the stories he told. The stories are all plagiarized. They're all from somewhere else. It's how he made those characters come alive to teach us, as I said before, about our own humanity.